What's up, everybody? It's your good friend Lukie, and this is my new YouTube channel. Please subscribe to help me. Look on the screen. Don't be a reoccurring viewer. Only 25% of the people watching these videos are subscribing. Hit the bell icon. Subscribe now, please. Well, as you should, man. 55 strong. As I see you wearing your own brand. Let's go into you, man. I'm actually frustrated. I couldn't watch your fight. I've been following your career for years now. It's frustrating that I can't watch your fight in HD. I had to watch your fight on another boxer's Instagram. I would say their name, but I don't want to get them in trouble. And I guess there's no question for you. It's just frustrating for me to not be able to see your most important fight to date and to see it clearly. But how did you feel you did against Willie Jones?
I gave even though I dominated the fight, I still gave myself probably a B minus because it was opportunities where I could have got him out of there. I missed a couple of them, and it was punches it was a lot of opportunities that I let that slipped past me that I could have just capitalized on that I didn't. So, but it was real. It wasn't no hard fight at all. By far, it wasn't a hard fight. It was just that I was I was missing shit that I shouldn't have been missing, and I was seeing it in time. I just wasn't reacting fast enough, like I normally do. So, but I gave myself a B minus. Even I didn't feel like I lost a single round. Two of the judges said I lost one round. So I mean that's cool. But overall, it was a dominant performance. It was a lot of people who actually thought he was gonna knock me out, which was crazy to me. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I heard a little story. I heard a famous fighter. I heard the famous fighter might have bet on you to lose.
yeah, he betted. Yeah, a couple people betted on me to lose, and for whatever reason, which got me more excited. That was the extra motivation and fuel I knew when they told me that shit. I was like, okay, bet. I'm gonna show y'all. So that just made it even more. That just made the fight even more exciting for me.
The one thing I noticed was your right hand wasn't missing, bro. Your right hand I don't think he had ever experienced being a right hand coming at that range. I think he thought that he was safe and you were just tagging him.
Yeah, man, I heard him. I landed some vicious rights, and a lot of them buckled his knees, but none would ever just put him down. He's a tough dude. But I still feel like if I would just put my combinations together more, more, more frequently through the fight, then I would have got him out of there.
I think it's a testament to him too, though, because it looked to me like you were he knew where the fight was going and he just decided that he didn't want to get stopped on that night. Maybe you could have done more to help him with that decision, but I think that part of that is you fought a tough guy who was very proud.
Yeah, and then if he didn't want to get stopped that night, he damn sure didn't want me of all people to stop him. So especially I mean, it was still a good fight. I appreciate him taking the fight now. And honestly, I didn't want to fight him because I helped him for his last fight when he just knocked out the dude that was 10-0. I helped him for that fight. I was cheering for him. I was rooting for him. We do strength and conditioning together sometimes. And I sparred him previously. Like I was always rooting for him. We was in camp together with Jamel Charlo in 2019. So I've always rooted for him. Like I did when they sent me his name, I was like, damn, I really don't too much care to fight him. Not because I fear him or anything, or because I think I'm gonna lose. I want to see him keep winning. And then that would just be me and nice. But I told Derek James, I was like, look, bro, I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm not passing up anything. I said, if they want to take the fight with me, if they say they'll fight me, then I guess they beat me. I'll take the fight. But if you can give me a southpaw, I'll take the southpaw since I was already sparring Earl and he's a southpaw. So I was just trying to just keep it southpaw since I was sparring the southpaw. But they decided to take the fight. And I was like, all right, cool. No problem at all.
Well, I mean, that's the business of boxing. Quinton, my favorite boxer is Bernard Hopkins. I always tell people that, and they go, why is Bernard your favorite fighter to me? Because they'll be like, he's so boring. But to me, it's like Bernard outlasted everybody. He even outlasted me, like as a fan. Like I grew up with Bernard, and he just kept going. It's like all my guys started retiring, he kept going. And to me, I was telling your coach when I was setting this up, You remind me of Bernard Hopkins in a lot. And I know that you've drawn inspiration for Bernard, but you remind me a lot of Bernard, where a lot of people might not understand what you are, but you know what you are. Can you talk about how Bernard has paved a way in your career?
Man, I watched Bernard Hopkins for years. I never thought he was bored, even though the fans thought I used to love watching him. I just knew. I just I thought he was a goddamn wizard in the ring, like a pure genius. The way he dissected and was so patient, never got out the game plan. So I've been watching Bernard since I was a kid. So he was always one of my all-time favorite fighters. And I don't think I've ever missed a Bernard Hopkins fight since I've been watching him since I was like 11 years old.
I
I
knew
don't
we
think
were similar. I knew
I,
we
don't,
were similar, Q.
I never missed a fight. And so, but no, I most definitely drew inspiration from him because when I went to prison, man, I didn't know how I was gonna do it. I just knew I wanted to do it. I went to prison. I'm 18 years old. I know I gotta do 3 years. So I'm like, man, when I get out, I gotta start. But I don't want to start from nothing. I want to try to be somewhat acknowledgeable of what I'm doing in the ring or how to throw certain proper punches. So when I ordered that ring subscription magazine and I seen him in the back giving you details on how to throw this punch and how to throw that punch, I just practiced that shit every day. I practiced one thing for a complete month. And then when I got the next subscription, when I got the different instructions, I practiced that for them. I just put them all together. And then I did that until I got out.
I want to know about putting up the mattress in your cell, the heavy bag mattress. What was that
Yeah.
like? And then, like, how much of a pain in the ass was that? Like, I want to know some details and stuff about that.
Yeah, so like the matches are very rough and they're not comfortable. So you can roll them up if you have a real thin one, they're rough. So I rolled mine up and I had like 3 sheets at the time. So I just two one of my sheets up and I wrapped it around the mattress so it can stay rolled like a fucking cinnamon roll. And I would hang it on my bunk tied to it. And I would use my shower slides. Uh no, I'm sorry, not my shower slides. I would rip another piece of the sheet up and I would wrap it around my hands because the material on the bag was rough. On the mattress, I mean, it was rough. So if you hit it too long with your hands, you'll rip your skin. So I would use my socks or I would use extra parts of the sheet, wrap it around my hands. And whatever Bernard showed me in the Ring magazine, I would do on the mattress that I rolled up to make it look like a heavy bag. And I would do that. Shit, I did that for a lot. I did that for a long time. There wasn't nothing else to do. I mean, I was in close custody. I could never leave the cell. So 24 hours in, it's when you're in the world moving around, 24 hours go by fast as hell. But when you're in a 6x9 cell and you have absolutely nothing to do, 24 hours is a lifetime. You have nothing to do but sit there. And so you'll get your ass up and do something. If you don't, you'll just sit there and go crazy thinking about stuff and wondering and asking yourself crazy questions. And so I most definitely rolled that mattress up, hung it on my bunk. That was my punching bag, my instructions. Bernard Hopkins was my coach, and he didn't even know it. And so
Have you ever talked to Bernard?
I've never met him. He's on my to meet list. I have yet to meet him. Been waiting to meet him. I ain't met him. I ain't ran into him. Don't know when I'm gonna meet him, but I'm gonna fucking love to meet him when I do.
We're gonna try to set that one up for you, Q. That's one of my goals. My goal is to shoot a video with you, and one of the goals is to get you to meet Bernard. What are some of your favorite Bernard fights? I'll share with you mine because I'm selfish and I'm an interviewer. I love the Andrew Council fight. My good friend Lightning Lopez put it on to me. Andrew Council is a great fighter, but I feel like you can watch Bernard versus Andrew Council and you can learn how to fight. It's just like everything. It's pretty much a perfect performance.
I think Bernard's beautiful performance. He fought Trinidad. That was fucking beautiful. From what he was up against, and like I listened to the commentary for that fight where George Foreman was talking crazy, and All the other announcers, I was like, man, Bernard beat
Burned
the
the Puerto Rican flag.
yeah, Bernard beat the shit out of it. It was just the way he did it, the way he dissected it. It was beautiful, and the finish, the way he finished, that was the ultimate way to finish a fight like that. And so he didn't beat no slouch. He beat all time great fighter, and he did it in such grace. It was just that Bernard fight was that is my favorite Bernard fight. I most definitely thought he beat Jermaine Taylor when they fought the first time.
Yeah, the split decision loss.
The win over De La Hoya was gigantic. I think he was the first person to ever stop De La Hoya. Yeah, he was the first person. The only person who ever stopped De La Hoya after that was Pacquiao. So that was gigantic for him. That left to the body. I watched that fight, and at the time as a kid, I didn't know how much pain a shot like that can cause you. But as a kid, I was like, man, that didn't look like it hurt. Like he badly hit him with it until I got hit with one. And then I was just, yeah. I like when he beat the brakes off Pascal that second fight. Even though he beat him in the first one, because he got dropped through 2 or 3 times in the first one. And he got up and went to work. And so it was beautiful when he got up. And I ain't never seen Bernard go down before. Like especially back to back. I was nervous as hell. And then Bernard said, nah, not today, youngster. And then he finished that fight, man. He dominated the entire rest of that fight. They called it a draw. He beat him down in the rematch. That was a good one.
I love in that one, he does the push-ups in between the rounds.
Yeah, in the ring,
just to torture him. He's like, oh, man, you're younger than me, but you're not in shape like me. Like, he just did so much old veteran, just, I'm going to get in your head.
Mm-hmm. Like when he fought Kelly Pavlik, man, I liked the Kelly Pavlik. I was a Kelly Pavlik fan. But, man, when he fought Bernard, I was like, man, I was nervous. I was like, man, maybe I never go against Bernard. I don't give a damn who he fight, but I was still nervous. Man, Bernard went in there and beat this. He just did Kelly Pavlik bad. It was just another great fight for Bernard. Like, hey, then when he beat Winky Wright, I had mixed emotions about that one because I love Winky Wright too. But Bernard has always been my top guy. Bernard and Floyd was the top 2 fighters I watched my entire life.
And they're basically like the opposite fighter in many ways. Bernard's like a guy that never once was like, I'm not really about money. Like, he is about money, but it's like Bernard was like, I'm the boogeyman. I'm coming to chase down everything that's the establishment. And Floyd was kind of like, I'm the marquee face of boxing. Bernard never got to be the face of boxing.
Yeah, that's true. But towards the end of Bernard's, after Bernard beat Trinidad, he ascended to a new level. And after he beat Oscar, he got even greater. Because Bernard Hopkins was undisputed for a long time, and it irks me when they make it seem like Triple G has a better resume than Bernard Hopkins. That is wild, dog. That is horse shit at its finest. Like, no, he doesn't have a better
That's
resume.
Recency bias. That's just people looking at a more modern fighter, and don't get me wrong, Triple G's a great fighter. He's just not Bernard Hopkins.
Yeah. And Bernard had a legendary run, like all-time historic run. And so before he lost to Jermaine Taylor, then he went up to light heavyweight and won my title up there. So yeah, he's on my Mount Rushmore. I'd love to see a fight between. I've always envisioned Hagler and Bernard. I've always envisioned a fight. Always. I think it'll be a all-out gritty.
Imagine the press conference, Q. Imagine the press, because B-Hop would wear the crown to the thing and call himself the real king. Mm-hmm. Like the war would be set early. He'd wear the war hat to the press conference, say that you're not ready for war. Like, what I loved about Bernard was the mental warfare he would do to opponents, looking for that little bit of weakness.
Yeah. He's definitely, I can't wait to meet him, man. I don't get excited to meet nobody, but I'm pretty sure I'll be excited to meet Bernard. And Bernard and Mike Tyson are the 2 I have to meet. I've met everybody else who I want to meet. Bernard and Mike Tyson are the only 2 I need to meet. Tyson's
the only person that made me feel like I was a groupie, because I when I met him, I was like, bro, you don't understand. When I was a kid, my whole goal when I was a kid was just to think if Mike Tyson came to school with me, everyone would think I was cool. That was literally my elementary and middle school days.
Yeah, Mike. I want to meet Mike. I meet Bernard. Once I meet them two, I don't care about it. I don't care to meet anybody else. I've met the rest of them. I don't care to meet anybody else.
Okay. I want to ask you a deep question because it's something that I think makes you different than these other fighters, Q. Um, Obviously you faced a lot of tragedy in your life. You've lost 2 children. Um, how is your relationship with the afterlife and your spirituality kind of allowed you to keep pushing? Because I feel like what you've faced, most men or women would break. And you have some level of, in my opinion, spirituality that keeps you going. Can you talk me through kind of some of that?
Yeah, man. I grew up in church. And I have a praying family. A very uh a family that has a very high faith. So, and then that's part of my community. That's part of my culture. It's kind of embedded in my DNA that keep the faith. God is in control. You some things you may not like. By the time, but even when you know all of this, nothing prepares you for losing a child. You, so even if you know all that and you live by that and you lose your only child at the time, so some people may make fuck all that. Like I can't live it. I can't do it. I'm going into a dark place and I'm gonna stay in there and I want to come out. Who can blame you? You see what I'm saying? But all I know was if I needed to do something that would keep me sane, that would keep me from killing myself, that would keep me from doing something that was going to alter the course of somebody else's life, like mine had got affected. So, man, I just went to the gym right after they told me my son was gone home. I just drove to the gym and I hit the heavy bag. That's all I did. After I buried him, the next day I went straight to Colorado Springs, just buried myself in the gym and training. So the boxing has been like my you say my medicine, my therapy. Um, it's been an anchor that's kept me sane, and I believe 100% God gave me that to get me through this moment, get me through moments and times like that. Because without it, I wouldn't be on this podcast. I've been lost. So
I'm gonna go a little deeper on you, and feel free to not answer it. I just want, because I think that as men we don't talk about mental health enough. How real was the thought of suicide for you at that time?
shit, it was real shit. I ain't never think shit living without my son wasn't even an option. Like that was never. That's every parent's greatest fear. And then at the time, I didn't have another kid to fall back on that to keep me strength. Or prior to me losing my son, 4 years before that, I lost a daughter at birth. So that was like it was repeated all over. This time was way greater because my son was a living body that was moving and talking. So the relationship it was completely different. And so, man, shit, I never thought I'd live a day without my son. Shit, let alone going on 6 years. So it was thoughts was there, but my family just surrounded me. Families and friends were. I was never by myself, so there was never a moment to where I could have, even if I wanted to. They never let me be by myself. Um, they just always showered me with love and affection and support, and that also helped me get through as well.
That's important. I think there's a lot of people listening that need to hear something like that. What I feel like, all that you've been through, your relationship is deeper than a lot of people that you fight in the ring. A lot of people are fighting for the girl in the crop top who looks sexy. A lot of people are fighting maybe for the money. Maybe they want to be a champion. But to me, this boxing feels like your religion. this isn't just a sport to you. Can you explain how your relationship with boxing has evolved over the past few years?
I don't without boxing, I wouldn't know what I would do. I wouldn't know what I would do with myself. I think I honestly believe with all my heart that God gave me this sport to keep me humble as his way of getting closer to him. Saying like, bro, without boxing, I'd be a fucking lost soul because I'm real when I'm training and thriving in the ring in the gym, like I'm real fun to be around. I'm happy. I'm that when I'm not, my mind goes to too many dark places. Like my mind starts to think about my son. My mind started thinking about my daughter. My mind started thinking about prison and all this shit and why this and why that. But when I'm just focused on training, when I'm just, man, I'm at peace. Like when I'm in the gym suffering, when I feel like I can't go no more and I'm breaking my limits, I'm at peace. When I'm in the gym sparring with somebody that's making me think, that's making me work overtime, I'm at peace. So when I'm watching the kids come up sparring, I'm watching other world champions get good work in, when I'm talking boxing, I'm at peace. And so without that, I'm I'm off balance. My life is imbalanced. Without training, I don't function right. Um, being away from that's why I'm never away from the gym too long. I'm never away from sparring. Like I'm always in the gym.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it just feels like you've always felt like a special fighter, bro. And I'm not just gassing you up to say this. And it feels like you live the sport. When you go in there with other fighters, it looks like there's a level of comfort you get in boxing that other fighters feel like they're uncomfortable, and you embrace these moments in boxing.
Yeah, I embrace everything. There's never been a moment in time where I've been uncomfortable. Because one thing about me, I'm very comfortable being uncomfortable. That's in the ring and outside the ring. I've had moments in the ring where I've had opponents on my ass, but they never you. I'm never uncomfortable. I'm always real calm. I'm real calm. Even if you hit me with a good shot, even if you throw a 20 punch combination, I'm extremely calm. I can be exhausted. That I don't even know how much longer I got in me, but I'm always calm. And so I've always been like this since I started. That's one thing my coach would say, like, that's a gift that's gonna come in handy when you're in the ring, just being able to stay calm like that. And so, yeah, but as far as I don't mind being uncomfortable. It makes me like I'm comfortable being uncomfortable. That's all I can say about that. So it doesn't bother me. Uh,
Your ability to do let me pick you up, Q. Your ability with distance is really impressive. You use every inch of your reach, and I feel like a lot of these other guys give up their reach. So when you're fighting these tall guy fighters, a lot of times people look at the reach on a computer screen, but they don't think about it in the sense of how a boxer throws a punch. I think you got one of the longest reach in your division because you actually use your reach, as opposed to a lot of fighters that give up. They don't have that, I mean, they don't have the snap on their punch. Can you talk about your reach and kind of how you use distance?
that goes to my coach, Derek, Derek Collinsworth. Like we worked on my range alone from day one, knowing distance, range, and timing, because all of that plays a factor in in my in my style of fighting. So, but yeah, I use my jab a lot, man, and I love my long arms. I know they're hell for my opponent, so I love them. I love being able to jab you, you jab back, and I'm 6 inches from you, but your arms on paper are longer than mine. But you don't understand why you can't land a punch. So now I'm not a fan of overstepping, smothering my shots. So uh Derek taught me Derek preaches distance and range. since day one. He's still preaching to this day. My other coach, K. Karoma, helped me as well. He keeps me, he adds to that as well. So I got the best of both worlds.
Your guy, Marquis Taylor, I had him on the show this weekend. He had nothing but positive things to say about you, spoke highly of you. What did you think of Marquis's win over Yoelvis?
I thought he was going to win. I thought he well deserved. Marquis, I don't think Marquis has ever lost a fight. The only loss that he does have is some controversial bullshit. He's one of the fighters that, because he doesn't have the style that you want him to have, is rugged, is fucking doghouse.
It's a style only a mother could love.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people try to cheat him. They try to get him the short end of the stick. When he beat Paul Crow convincingly. 8 rounds straight. So I didn't know how to even call that fight a draw. So Showtime gave him another chance, and he beat the other undefeated guy. Man, he beat a whole bunch of undefeated guys. When you look at his resume, where he's at in his resume, you could easily say he deserves a title shot. From all the people he's beat, all the 14-0s, 15-0s, and 16-1s guys he beat, you can say he deserved a title eliminator.
I mean, I think he's got a better resume than some world champions.
No, he does. He does. He has a way better resume than a lot of prospects, world champions. And so, yeah, and it's just how his style looks. A lot of people avoid fighting him because they don't believe they can beat him, or they don't believe they will look good and fight him. And a lot of people, a lot of fighters are scared to go to a dark place. As far as where exhaustion lives, Marquis is going to take you to the brink of exhaustion. And he's still going to be fighting there. So a lot of fighters not prepared to go there. They don't know how to go there. And so it just, cowards make fatigues out of men, as they say. But yeah, then when you got the lights on you, man, Marquis is a dog. I've been sparring him for the last 6 years. And so I know every time I spar, all right, let's go. I already know where we finna go.
It's crazy to me that he has a full-time job. He's fighting co-main event on Showtime, and he has a full-time job. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah, I didn't see Marquis spend 5-6 hours in the gym straight. And say, all right, I'm gonna catch you later. I gotta go to work. Go straight to work from the gym. Yeah, because then he's not even supposed to be working. For all the people that he's beaten, man, he's supposed to be well off in his career with sitting on some nice money so he can just focus solely on training. But the way this sport is, and sometimes the politics of it, and sometimes these greedy promoters and shitty managers, that's why I was so happy that he won. And I knew he was gonna win. There was no doubt in my mind he was gonna win. I never bet against him, and I never will. There was no doubt in my mind he was gonna win. I just wanted them to treat him fairly. I knew he was gonna dominate. I was like, man, Marquis is gonna dominate this fight. I just need the judges to give him his just due. When it's all said and done, get a man what he earned. Give him what he earned. And then if he don't win, he don't win. But give him what he earned.
Yes, that's real. That's real, Q. Well, who should he fight? Who should Marquis fight? What's the fight you want to see him in with?
If I was Marquis, I'd go straight for Brian Mendoza.
Why is that? That's the friend of the program. That's our guy. Why do you see in Brian Mendoza?
I'm just saying, I like Brian Mendoza.
No. We all real ones recognize real ones. You just think it's a makeable fight?
Yeah, it's a makeable fight because listen, they both fight. Marquis is not a 160-pounder. Marquis fights 54. He just went up to 60 for that opportunity. And so Marquis that is a 54 fighter. Brian Mendoza is a 54 fighter. Brian Mendoza is coming off 2 wins. Now I understand for Brian Mendoza, it'll be going a step backwards. I just beat Banana, stopped him. I just knocked out Omar Figueroa. I want a title shot. I need something big. I'm not going back to fight Marquis Taylor when don't nobody know who he is, but everybody know who I am just off that last knockout. So for Brian Mendoza, it doesn't make sense for him to go back and fight a Marquis Taylor when you're trying to push forward to get to that world title. Now for Marquis,
Can I fix it? I think I got the solution. Well, let's strip Jermell Charlo of his belt and let's make it for a world title.
They won't strip Jermell right now because all the sanctioning bodies have agreed to put that shit on hold so he can fight Canelo. But after this fight, then he's gonna have. After this fight, he's most definitely gonna have to defend his titles at 154. I know Marquis wants to fight Tim Tszyu. I would say if you fight Tim Tszyu, don't fight him in his country. Fight him in America. So it'll be more fair. Because in Australia, I don't. You may not get a Devin Haney situation. You may get a Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn situation. But if I was him, I'd just go for Brian Mendoza, or I go for Lubin, or I go for a notable name at 154. Any type of name that's notable at 154, that's who I would go for.
And now for you, Q, who are you going for?
Anybody that's ranked above me. Every single fighter that's ranked above me. I wanted. I've been trying to get Brian Norman Jr. I've been trying to get that other guy from Top Rank. He fights 47 as well. He's southpaw Sicilian.
Giovanni Santillan.
Yeah,
fights
him
this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to get him. Them the two guys those are the only two 147s that Top Rank has. Has the wins, and Sicilian, he's ranked above me by at least 2 or 3 spots. So me and him would be a good fight on paper. And so, but I want them to. I've been trying to get Brad from Top Rank to get me them fights, but he ain't had no luck. I want Jamal James, not because I have any grudge against Jamal James. I actually like Jamal James. We follow each other on social media. It's just that he's ranked above me as well. And so that'll be a good fight. Anybody that's ranked above.
Basically, you're not Scary Mary. You'll take any fight, but it sounds like you enjoyed fighting on the Top Rank card or something. So it sounds like you'd like to get a fight against one of those Top Rank fighters, is what it sounded like, what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Top Rank fighters, Showtime fighters, PBC fighters, The Zone, I don't give a damn. Whoever ranked above me, I want to fight him. Blair Cobbs, he's disappeared off the map, I think, since Golden Boy dropped him. So I don't know what he has going on.
Would you still run that one with him? Would you still run a Blair Cobbs fade?
Yeah, because he still has a more popular name than me, and he's ranked. I think he's ranked a little bit above me as well. So yeah, me whooping on him, but still go good on my resume.
You want that get back for your teammate because of Blair's a little goofy. I can feel it.
Yeah. I won't. I ain't got nothing personal against him, but he's ranked. He's in the ranking. And so anybody's in the ranking, every last one of them can get it.
And he behaves like a pro wrestler, and he's a little bit of a goofball.
Yeah,
like that. I feel like most serious boxers kind of, they don't take kindly to that.
No, all that charading, that hooting and hollering and shit, like, and then you're not polished enough, you're not technical enough, you're not good enough to say some of the shit that comes out of your mouth. And then for you to get stopped in a fight, then you got completely obliterated in. Like, nah, you can't say shit like that. That's why it's a reason why people with your pedigree, with your style and technique. Now I can understand he was very technical. He had great technique, but he's horrible. He's dog shit to me. So, but hey, if that opportunity comes up, I'm jumping on it 100%.
Okay, Q, tell people where they can follow you and all that stuff.
I'm on my Instagram and then on my Threads and Twitter, all the same name, quickdraw_P4P. Hey, run them numbers up.
Yeah, and I'm Big Daddy 101. So, you can find me. It's weird. It's only on OnlyFans and kind of explicit sites. I don't know why it's like that, but that's what the brand is right now. We're kind of going a little different with it, We're trying to, what do they say? The game changed, so we changed too,
I feel you.
Well, Q, it's always good catching up with you, man. And we genuinely support you as much as we can support you. And I appreciate you letting me waste your afternoon.
No problem, man. Take care.